One more time for Dan Altano. Holy. The guy's a monster. He's amazing. Oh my God. I swear to God, I was sitting in the green room going over my set the entire night, and every comic would come back one by one and just go, dude, those two black girls in the front row are fucking amazing. And they go, do you know them? And I was like, I don't know. I fucking know them, 100%. And they're just as amazing in real life, by the way. I'm happy to be here. How you guys feeling? How's the show so far? You guys having a good time? Man, it's fun to be here. Actually, I'm glad you guys are drinking. I gotta be honest, I'm a little jealous because I quit drinking the nights I go on stage. There's a story behind that. Last week I was here. I got so wasted before I got on stage, I accidentally opened and closed with the same joke. I don't know how much you guys know about stand-up comedy, but you're only supposed to do one joke per set. I got on stage, delivered my first joke, killed. 10 minutes later, I'm like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this. Did the same joke word for word, bombed. But I'm looking around the audience confused. I'm like, what's your problem? That's a funny joke. And some guy in the second row goes, yeah, you just did it 10 minutes ago. I'm like, and nobody told me? You guys just listened to a 2-minute bit, pretending like you've heard it for the first time. That's betrayal, I feel like. Somebody should have my back. Anyway, before I get started, I want to tell you guys, last week I was here and I accidentally opened and closed with the same joke. It was a nightmare. Everybody's here. My mom's here. This is a true story. She opened for me last New York Comedy Festival at Caroline's. She did 5 minutes. She did 5. All right, guys, you can't applaud her all night. Seriously, everybody calm down. She loves it, so don't do it. Seriously. She's super overprotective. She'll text me when I'm out at night. She'll be like, call me as soon as you leave the bar. I'm worried someone's gonna follow you home. I'm like, Mom, the whole point of me going out was to get someone to follow me home. She'll call me in the middle of the night to make sure I got home okay, but if I don't answer the phone because I'm busy, she'll call one of my best friends looking for me. Like I'm 30, that is unacceptable. So finally I sat her down, I'm like, Mom, you have to stop calling my friends at 4 a.m. You're gonna give them the wrong impression. Right, because my friends are wasted at 4 a.m. I don't trust them talking to my mom on the phone at all. This is how I see the scenario playing out in my head, all right? My mom calls my best friend Joe at 4 a.m. She's like, hey, Joe, is Eric with you? Joe's like, no, I'm all alone. You want to come over? It's my worst nightmare, literally my worst nightmare. I just found out my mom and I have the same therapist, which is, it's weird, right? It's weird. But it's cool because like he's sworn to confidentiality. Like he can't even legally admit that he knows who my mom is. So sometimes I like to test him to see how professional he is. The other day I was like, oh, my mom's so overbearing, man, I can't take it. She's in therapy to get help, but says her therapist is an unhelpful moron. Can't even believe he has a degree, really. He's like, oh, that's weird because I have a patient whose son is a real asshole. I'm like, all right, touche, sir. You won that battle. For a long time, I didn't know that my mom and I had the same therapist. But recently in sessions, he's been telling me that I have to get married soon. I'm like, who are you working for? But I'm at that age, I get it, you know, I just turned 30 years old, I did it, 30 years old. A year and a half ago, I did it, and the applause never gets old, I gotta be honest. Here's what I realized, me and my friends, we still make fun of each other's moms the same way we did when we were 15. We have not matured at all. So for my 30th birthday, my buddy wrote me a birthday card, and he wrote, "Happy birthday, Eric, I want to bang Paula Neumann." That's my mom. And I accidentally left the card on my nightstand one night, and my mom came over and she saw it. And for a minute, she was really pissed, and then she goes, "See, I still got it." Which sucks, but it was actually the best way to get back at my friend, because I was like, "Hey, dude, my mom got your note. She's very interested." Lock this up, brother. You got this. I'm a good friend. I had a weird upbringing. My dad was schizophrenic. Anybody else have a schizophrenic dad? Everybody, great, that's... It was confusing growing up with a dad with schizophrenia, especially growing up as a Jew. You know, because my mom was always like, "Jesus doesn't exist." And then my dad would pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm Jesus." She's a wacko, that woman. She's crazy. Man, these black women I know are really the best. They're the best. They're anchoring the whole audience, I feel like. We should do a case study, what the audience would look like without the two black women in the front. I feel like a bunch of boring white people. Okay, anyway, so it's coming from a boring white guy. Everybody relax. That was delayed. All right. I got the jokes. Can I work alone? Is that cool? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had a weird childhood, but I had some highlights, you know. First of all, let me say I love women. Big fan of you. One guy was creepy enough to do it out loud, and I appreciate that. This guy thought there was going to be a million other woos, and he realized he was singled out at that moment. He was like, "Where are you guys?" I love women. I made out for the first time when I was 5 years old. I swear to God. I was in kindergarten class. Me and this girl, Marissa, we snuck out of the classroom during nap time and made out in the hallway. And I was bragging to my friend about it the other day. I'm like, "Yo, it's kind of impressive that I made out with a girl for the first time at 5, right?" He's like, "No, it's just sadder that you lost your virginity at 20. I'm like, "I did cool down there a little bit, didn't I?" Here's the thing you have to know about men. Before we lose our virginities, we are a slave to the women we love. We have no power whatsoever. I used to do anything for girls. I had a crush on this girl in college. I signed up for all her classes. I signed up for classes I didn't want to take. I signed up for French poetry for this girl who took the class for another guy. Who took the class for another guy. Like, yeah, we all wasted our time here. But I was always the nice guy with girls growing up, you know? They'd always say, like, "Oh, you're so sweet. I don't want to date you, but you're so sweet." But in the last 10 years, I've had a lot of women tell me they hate me. Gotta be honest, feels way better. To be able to get that type of passion out of a woman, I remember exactly where I was the first time a woman told me she hated me. It was a rainy summer night, stars were out, hate was in the air. She looked at me in the eyes and she was like, "I hate you so much." And I wanted to say it back, but I wasn't ready. I gotta be honest. I was like, I dislike you, but I'm not ready to drop the H-bomb on you. I'm not. You deserve a man who's going to hate you with all his heart the way you hate me. I'm not that man. I'm not. All right, you guys, we're not ready for that one. All right. I love women, though. Love women. Everybody but that woman I love. I love everybody. Just kidding, you're amazing. But I wasn't always into women, you know, because women is plural. For a long time, I was into one woman. My childhood crush. I remember that in high school, someone asked me, what's your sexual orientation? I was like, Jessica. Yeah, but what do you identify as? As wanting to marry Jessica. LBGTQJ, Jessica. And then after years of chasing her, I finally got her, and someone was like, what's your sexual orientation? I was like, I don't know, anybody but Jessica. She's the fucking worst. Do you guys know Jessica? What do you find? Here's the thing, you don't really know somebody until you start dating them for a while. You find out so much information. A few years ago, I was dating this girl, and I met her brother for the first time. That was weird. Because I noticed a lot of similarities between them. They were standing side by side, and I was like, same lips, look at that. I guess we're never kissing again. Well, I'm hooking up with a girl, I'm not supposed to be thinking about her brother. That's wrong. I'm supposed to be thinking about her sister. Everybody knows that. That was for like 4 douchebags in the audience, I feel like. Yeah. That guy should be sitting with that guy, I feel like. And if I could see, by the way, I can't see any of you except my mom, Shane, right now. She's illuminated. You find out a lot in relationships, you know? Like, here's what I realized about relationships. Whatever insecurities you express to your partner throughout a relationship will then be brought up to you again at the end of a relationship. Because my ex-girlfriend was always reassuring me. She's like, you're not going bald. That's not your hair thinning. That's where it parts in all different directions. I swear to God, the second we broke up, she was like, go die alone, you bald fuck. By the way, I want to officially announce the white people have caught up with the 2 black ladies. You guys are amazing. I'm scared to go bald. I'm a little scared, you know? Scared. Rogaine. Like I didn't fucking know that was a... This guy did that so passionately, it felt like he was getting paid to shush people tonight. Shh. I'm bald, I want to hear this. Here's why I'm scared to go bald, okay? Because baldness is the #1 way people describe someone. Right? It's just a fact. Like the other day, my friend was like, yo, Eric, guess who we ran into the other night? I'm like, who? He's like, George. I'm like, which one's George? He's like, you know George, like bald, 6'1". I'm like, yeah, I know George. I feel like the worst tragedy could happen in your life and baldness would still take the priority. I'd be like, all right, guess who I ran into the other night? I'm like, who? He's like, George. I'm like, which one's George? He's like, you know George, like bald, 1 arm. I'm like, I didn't even notice he had 1 arm. He's just so bald. He's got 1 arm? These are concerns, though, man. You turn 30, you start thinking about other shit. It's just different, you know? I've made subtle lifestyle changes. I have a cleaning guy now. Twice a year. I need him a lot more often, but that's my budget, twice a year. He's an interesting dude. His name's Philip. He's 65 years old. The other day, I walk into my apartment. I swear to God, this is his full outfit. Not making this up. Yellow cleaning gloves, bright red thong. I was appalled. My bright red thong. Who does this guy think he is? Going through my wardrobe. It wasn't my thong, but I walked in, I swear to God, I was so taken aback. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, I'll just be in my room. Which accidentally sounded like an invitation. Like, yeah, I'll just be on the bed waiting for you whenever you're ready for me. Closed my bedroom door, called my mom. I'm like, Mom, who did you recommend to me? She goes, what's the matter? I go, your dude's cleaning naked in my apartment. She goes, ask him to put clothes on. He's a 60-year-old man. I'm not asking him to put clothes on. That's weird. I'd rather just avoid this situation. And here's the thing, he's not doing anything wrong technically. There's no dress code in my apartment. There's no sign that's no thongs on the premises. We didn't discuss it in the interview process. The only thing I said was take your shoes off before you walk into the apartment. So maybe he thought he was doing extra credit. I don't know. Anyway, I leave the apartment. I'm so weird. I leave the apartment. 3 hours later, I get a text from the superintendent of the building. He goes, dude, what the fuck? Now I'm curious. I'm like, what happened? He's like, some dude just walked from your apartment to the garbage room in a red thong. I'm like, yeah, that's my cleaning guy. I'm sorry. I'm like, did you say anything to him? He's like, I told him he can't be outside your apartment in a thong. I'm like, did you also happen to mention he can't be inside my apartment in a thong? Here's what pisses me off. This guy's got more confidence to walk around my apartment naked than I do. But I realize going forward, now when someone looks through the window and sees me walking around naked, they'll probably be relieved. They'll be like, oh, thank God it's not that 60-year-old guy in the red thong. Just his much younger boyfriend. Anyway, if anybody needs a cleaning guy, just let me know. But that guy, so come on. But he's the best, I don't know. He does my bed really well. That's what that's my priority. I love sleeping. Oh. My girlfriend recently told me that I talk in my sleep, which sucks because that means that 24 hours a day I'm at risk of offending her. I'm never off the clock. She says she doesn't fully trust me in the relationship, so she waits until I fall asleep and then asks me questions to get the truth out. Which is smart, but she should not have told me that. Because now I just pretend I'm asleep all night and fuck with her. Like the other night I closed my eyes and she's like, Eric, when are you gonna propose? I'm like, in 2 years. She's like, Eric, who's that girl, Michelle, who always likes all your Facebook posts? I'm like, the girl I'm gonna propose to in 2 years. Then I wake up, give her a kiss, and go back to sleep. But I'm at that age, I get it. My friends are getting married, they're having kids. I don't know if I want kids, I'm not sure. Anybody else against? I don't know if I'm against it, but anybody else? Just, well, you love kids? You shouldn't have said that publicly like that, I feel like. It's a little weird. By the way, why is that such a controversial issue? Like the other night I was here, I was like, I'm not sure if I want kids. And some woman in the second row goes, you should have them! I'm like, all right, why should I have them? And she pointed across the table to her 13-year-old son and she goes, that's why. I'm like, honestly, it doesn't look that fucking great. I gotta be honest. Does he do tricks? Does he juggle balls in his mouth? This is your whole campaign for having children. This 13-year-old weird kid is your whole kid. Also, the evolutionary order does not make sense, right? Parenting should not happen in the beginning. Grandparenting should. Grandparents know what they're doing. Like if I have a kid, it should go directly to my mom. And I should have to like shadow her for a little while and ease into raising it like an apprenticeship. Right? Makes way more sense. Plus then it would be way less traumatic if I accidentally got my girlfriend pregnant. She'd be like, Eric, I'm not ready for a kid. I'd be like, don't worry, my mom is. I do understand the decision to have kids young, though. I get that. Because think about it. If you're 35 years old when you have your first kid, you're going to be 52 when that kid graduates high school. Not that young. But if you have your first kid when you're 18 years old, you're only going to be 31 when that kid drops out of middle school. Guys, that's one of the smartest jokes you've heard tonight, by far. Not every joke's for everybody, though. My biggest priority in life, my battery life on my phone. Before you have kids, is there a bigger priority than your battery life? Not even close. By the way, I realize your battery life on your phone is very dependent on which phone you own. Right? Because if you have the iPhone 10 and you're at 20% battery, you'll probably be fine for a while. But if you have the iPhone 6 and you're at 50%, you have like 2 text messages left. By the way, it works the same exact way with nationality. If you're 90 years old but you're Japanese, you'll probably be fine for a while. But if you're 68 and American, you have like 2 text messages left. My girlfriend and I were talking about, at some point, maybe having kids. I don't know, it's not hypothetical at this point, whatever. We both have our fears when it comes to the issue. Like, you know, she's not Jewish, so my fear is that our kids won't be raised Jewish, and her fear is that I'll accidentally kill our kids. Like, forget to take them out of the bathtub or leave them in a park late or something. And she's right, I am absent-minded, I am irresponsible, but I'll tell you this, I am much more likely to keep them alive if they're Jewish. I'll just try a little bit harder. The other day I asked my girlfriend if she would convert, and she said hell no, which I thought was a little aggressive, but a soft no would do, but thank you. And then coincidentally that day, I'm reading an article about Steven Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw, and how she converted to Judaism for him. So just to be a dick, I forwarded the article to my girlfriend. And she responds, yeah, I'd convert for $4 billion. I'm like, oh, so it's about the money? You should definitely be Jewish. You're halfway there. But here's the thing, you're only really considered Jewish if your mom's Jewish. Nobody cares about your dad. Right, so she's not Jewish, but I have a friend named Mikey. He's a Puerto Rican dude from the Bronx, raised Catholic, who's having a baby with a Jewish woman who hasn't celebrated a Jewish holiday in like 10 years. But his kid will technically be more Jewish than my kid. His son, Jose, could become a rabbi who doesn't let my son Shlomo into his synagogue. But when we first started dating, a lot of people asked me, is your mom upset that you're dating a non-Jew? I'm like, no, my mom doesn't care at all, just a bunch of strangers from synagogue do. My mom's totally open. She doesn't care who I date, as long as they answer her phone calls when she's looking for me. That's her one qualification. She doesn't want me to be with a Jewish woman who puts her straight to voicemail. She would way rather me be with a Muslim guy who texts her when we get places. And it's not even close. Guys, I'm so horny right now. All of a sudden, the first row didn't seem like a good idea, right? In front of this creep? Oh, so horny. Oh, God. Anybody else horny? We could go table by table. I've got time. We could go. Are you with these? Are you with both of them, sir? You look like an artist in Paris. Why do you look like that? Are you from here, sir? Should I go slower for you, sir? Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. Oh, Brazil! Oh, shit. Man, that carnival's fucking crazy, right? Has there been a night of your life since you turned 18 that you have not had sex? Not even one night, right? Are you from Brazil also? Do you guys know each other, or is this the weirdest seating situation of all time? He just locked it up like that? Did you guys travel here together?
No, we're together.
I love how this guy didn't say anything else. He just goes, Brazilians. You don't need an explanation. I just gave it to you. Brazilians. That was the most pimp shit I've ever seen in my entire life, sir. And he gave her the little... He just goes, Brazilians, and he grabbed her leg. I was like, whoa, you guys are really intense. Can you translate to all of this to him later? Would you mind doing that? Next time you come to a show, tell me ahead of time. I'm going to put a teleprompter in the back. You doing all right? Are you guys, so how long have you been dating? What's the situation?
I don't need a teleprompter. I'm just here.
Oh, shit. He goes, I don't give a shit. I'm just getting laid after this. I don't care. I don't have to hear a word of your set, funny man. Because it's going to be carnival in my hotel all night long. Welcome to the show, sir. Happy to have you. I feel like I started a joke like 5 minutes ago, right? You horny right now, sir? Not yet? How many more jokes do I have to do to get you in the mood, sir? And are you with this lady right here? Oh! Okay. Well, I ruined Thanksgiving. All right, great. Oh, do you have Thanksgiving? You guys don't have Thanksgiving. Fuck Thanksgiving. Oh, hey, left side. So horny, guys. My friends think it's weird that I admit that to them. But it's an emotion, right? I tell them when I'm sleepy, I tell them when I'm hungry, I'm horny. But my friend Frank, he's like this tough guy from the Bronx. He's like, yo, why you always gotta tell me when you're horny, bro? That's the most uncomfortable thing you could say to me. But he's wrong, it's not. You know what's more uncomfortable than I'm horny? Dude, I'm lonely. See how uncomfortable you guys all just got? Because horny has a solution. You masturbate, you have sex, you're no longer horny. Lonely could last forever. If Frank and I were alone in his car and he goes, dude, you have two options. Either you jerk me off in this car right now, or I'm gonna tell you all about my divorce. I'd be like, all right, take it out quickly. Because that second one sounds messy. I can't clean up that.
What was the answer?
What was the question? I like being in a relationship though because like I was always like too nervous about like random sex. Like whenever I engaged in any sexual activity in my life, the next day I'd freak out. I remember the first time I got a hand job. I was 29 years old. I'm kidding, I was in college, which actually doesn't sound that much better now that I say it. Got a hand job, next day I ran to the doctor, I was like, Doc, I definitely have an STD. Last night I was unprotected. He's like, you said you got a hand job. I'm like, I know, she didn't spray Purell in her hands. Can you get it that way? Here's the screwed up thing about the STD test. It takes 3 days for the results to come back. So every day I was staring at my dick in the mirror. Like I never have in my entire life. I was like, was that red mark always there? I've never seen it before. By the way, the more and more I stare at my dick, the more I'm amazed that people have the confidence to send dick pics. I've never sent a dick pic to a woman. I will never send a dick pic to a woman. On the contrary, however, I've sent a picture of my dick to my friend Matt 100 times to get his opinion on whether or not I have an STD. And he always had the same response. He's like, dude, you better have an STD because if not, I'm just staring at your dick for no reason. This better pay off for me. I'm like, no, dude, this is serious. Do you have something like this on your dick? He's like, yeah, I totally have something like that on my dick. I'm like, all right, prove it. Send a picture of your dick back. He's like, no, I'm not sending a picture of my dick back. That's weird. I'm like, come on, please. Anyway. Later that night, I'm in bed with this girl and a picture of Matt's dick pops up on my phone. She's like, why did a picture of Matt's dick just pop up on your phone? I'm like, I'm as confused as you are. He never sends one back. She goes, yeah, but why is his dick hard? I'm like, you know what? He did raise the stakes a little bit. My question is, how did you know it was Matt's dick at first glance? That's my... that shusher is getting a fucking tip from me after this show. Guys, I figured out my favorite part about the internet. I figured out my favorite part. I love how when you type in a new password, it'll tell you how strong or weak the password is. I think that's a really cool feature. I wish we'd use that feature for everything in life. Like whenever I'm apologizing to my girlfriend for something. Baby, I'm really sorry I didn't call you back. I was busy. Weak. I was busy with my mom. Medium, that's a medium. I was busy with my mom picking out an engagement ring for you. Strong, that's fucking strong. This is what I realized, like you women have the power of the entire relationship. Entire relationship. Right up until the moment you want us to propose. That's why we take so long to do it. We like having the power for 1 second. Because we know the second we propose, you get the power back. Right? I mean, we give you that ring and you might as well wear it on your middle finger because the second you put it on, you're like, fuck you. I hate your friends, they're not coming to the wedding. Sometimes my girlfriend will get frustrated with me for really silly reasons. Like, tell me the silly reason to get annoyed. My girlfriend got annoyed with me last week because my list of top 3 favorite movies of all time hasn't changed in 15 years. That's kind of a silly reason, right? I'll tell you what they are right now. Number 1, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, best movie of all time. Will never change. Number 2, The Terminator, second best movie of all time. Will never change. Number 3, Titanic. I'm a little emotional. Titanic, number 3. It won't change. My girlfriend got annoyed. She's like, so many new movies have come out since the 90s, and you don't replace them. I'm like, yeah, you should appreciate that I'm a loyal guy. I mean, think about it. So many new women have come out since you. But the good news is I'll never leave you. I'll never let go. I'll never let go. And even if I do, I'll be back. So that's... You guys have been top 5 crowds of my life. Thank you so much. Seriously. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.